Welcome to the session on e-invoice. Today we are going to talk about e-invoicing with respect to two aspects. One, the functional part of it. What exactly is invoicing? What are the compliance aspects to it? Okay, why is it mandated? And second, what is the role of technology to enable smoother experience with respect to e-invoice so that you as a business owner or an influencer can focus on your business or your specialization rather than getting into the technological know-how or rather getting a, okay, you can cut that. I'll go again. Welcome to the session on e-invoicing. Today we are going to talk about electronic e-invoice with respect to first the functional part of things, what, when, and how, why is it mandated, what exactly is e-invoicing, how will it facilitate and reduce the or make the process more efficient rather. And second, the technological aspects while implementing e-invoice for your organization so that you focus more on your business or specialization and the technology helps you in doing so. So as you can see, the entire journey of taxation started with VAT invoices in April 2005. This was followed by introduction of GST invoices in July 2017, and subsequently, e-invoicing was introduced for companies with turnover of greater than 500 crores in October 2020, extended to companies with greater than 100 CR turnover in Jan 2021. Now, starting April 2021, this is most likely to be extended to all the business houses under GST. So this is something that is most likely come April 1st, 2021. There might be a threshold, there might not be a threshold, but the whole idea is that we should be ready with the provisions of e-invoicing for our organizations. So this section will consist of part one, the domain, what exactly is invoicing, the benefits, the preparedness, okay, the functional part. The part two will be the technology, the key, why technology is the key, what is a GST, the role of same, and part three will be product walkthrough. So what is an invoice? Invoice is nothing but an electronic invoice in the form of, you can cut that. E-invoice is nothing but electronic invoice is a form of electronic billing. This is used when there is a transaction taking place between supplier and the customer to ensure the terms of agreement are met. This is applicable to B2B and B2G, business to government transactions pertaining to tax invoices, export invoices, reverse charge invoices, credit notes, and debit notes. What has changed? First, the applicability. Now it is applicable to all the taxpayers first starting with aggregate turnover of greater than 500 crores from 1st October 20. Greater than 100 crore turnover companies came into the purview in 1st Jan 20, and other businesses are most likely to come in the purview starting April 1st, 2021. The turnover is considered on basis of PAN for the last three financial years. Reporting of invoices on GST portal. So first, in the existing system, the JSON has to be uploaded. For invoicing, there is a prescribed schema containing the mandatory parameters given, which is auto-populated to GST returns. There is something called as IRN, which is called the invoice reference number. So the present system uses the traditional invoice number, which is sequential most likely, but the invoicing system will consist of IRN along with the invoice number, which will be a 64-digit unique invoice reference number generated through hash algorithm. It will also contain a QR code. The present system does not have the provisions for the QR code or the validation for the same, but e-invoicing will have the provision for the QR code, and it can be validated by the buyer. And finally, invoice amendment and cancellation. So this facility can be done on the GST portal. On invoicing, within first 24 hours, it can be cancelled on the IRP, which is called the invoice registration portal. Post 24 hours, it can be cancelled on the GST portal. So why invoicing and what are the benefits? E-invoicing revolves and plugs a major gap in data reconciliation under GST to reduce mismatch errors. So it reduces a lot of mismatch errors coming out of the GST, which is most likely coming out of wrong invoice number being given, etc., etc. So you can reduce this error since there will be one e-invoice that will be transacted between supplier and the buyer. Now softwares can interoperate due to standardized e-invoice format. So you can work seamlessly with vendors and clients irrespective of the software that they are using. Relevant details which of the invoice will be auto-populated, especially the part A of the eBay bill. Now this auto-population will significantly eliminate manual working and will reduce time, faster availability of ITC, and hence this will improve your cash flow. Invoice-wise information will be required to be submitted so that you can now focus more on business growth and less time on return filing. So what should be the preparedness? Our taxpayer will receive the communication from the department. On receiving, he has to log into the IRP portal, complete the registration on the IRP portal by providing the requisite details. They will have to select the preferred GST Suvidha provider in case of they are selecting application programming interface based for invoice generation. And finally, they will have to start generating invoices from the date of applicability. So as you can see, first you log into the portal invoice1.gst.gov.in. Post that on the left hand side, you create an API user. You will be prompted for an OTP. Once you provide the OTP, you can select the GSP. If you are using Tally, you can select Tally India Private Limited. You create the username with the prefix of API underscore name followed by the password. So what are the various modes of generation of invoice? For businesses that were greater than 500 crore, they were provided with whitelisted IPs, so they can directly interact with the IRP portal for generation of invoice. You can also directly enter on the portal. The most convenient way would be to have a GST Suvidha providers services in place so that they can act as an intermediary between the taxpayer and the IRP. You can also use SMS and the mobile app. Obviously, offline tools in Excel are also available. So what will be contained in invoice? Invoice will contain the seller details, the buyer details, consignee details, dispatch from details, item details, the invoice details, export details if they are mandatory like the shipping bill number, port code, currency and country code, the eBay bill details, transporter, distance, mode, pin code, etc. So let's take up some FAQs. So is it applicable to B2C? No, currently it is not applicable since it does not involve working of ITC. So it does not apply to B2C transactions. What is an IRP? IRP is nothing but a website for uploading and reporting of invoices by the taxpayers or the notified person. Is there a fixed position for the QR code in the invoice? No, it can be printed anywhere on the invoice. What is maximum number of line items it can be reported? At presently, 1,000 line items can be reported. Based on the feedback and future requirements, it can be enhanced by the government. Do I need to print IRN on the invoice? So no, it is optional. IRN, which is the invoice reference number, is anyways embedded in QR code so that the buyer can fetch the details of IRN from it. So it is not mandated to be printed on the invoice. So let us understand what is the impact of e-invoice on the purchase cycle. So first, if you have vendors who are greater than 100 CR, so they have to be invoice compliant and they have to also give you invoice so that you can claim ITC. Once you get the invoice from your vendors, you can ensure to check the QR code for all the necessary details, supplier, buyer, dispatch, IRN, etc. is proper or no. What will be the e-invoice impact on the taxpayer? So for a taxpayer who comes under the invoice ka purview, he will need a high level of integration between his ERP software and the GSTN portal and the IRP portal along with the e-way bill portal. So this is something that he will have to immediately consider, that is if his GHP or the existing ERP is able to cater to the requirement of e-invoice or not. So let us take a look at how can we handle certain e-invoicing exceptions. What are the typical best remedies to handle them? So first, what happens if I do not generate e-invoice and what are the consequences? So e-invoice comes under the purview of GST law. Any transaction that does not contain a valid e-invoice, IRN, etc., can attract a penalty of 100% of tax due or 10,000, whichever is higher. In case of an incorrect invoice, the penalty can be 25,000. How can I modify an e-invoice on the IRP? No. So the invoice cannot be modified on the IRP once it is generated. What do I do after uploading an incorrect invoice? So in case if you are within first 24 hours of the incorrect upload, you can go to the IRP, cancel the invoice and upload the correct invoice with a new invoice number. After 24 hours, you have to raise a credit note and upload a correct invoice with a new invoice number. So previously a B2C invoice was made. Now I have the GSTN number of the supplier. So what can be done? Okay, you can cut that. I'll have another take. So an invoice raised as a B2C invoice, later customer provides the GSTN. Could it be amended to B2B invoice? So as we discussed, there is no option of modification of e-invoice. One needs to issue GST credit note, and then obviously within 6 months from for which invoice pertains, then there is a fresh B2B invoice. What is my supplier who is liable to issue me an invoice, but issues a normal invoice without IRN? So in that case, you won't be eligible for the ITC as a normal invoice without the IRN, QR code, and the which is not rather in electronic form is just a piece of paper, and you won't be able to take ITC for it. I have transacted last month and forgot to upload the invoice. Can I generate the invoice this month? The answer is no. You need to upload the invoice for this month only. However, as of now, the department is allowing upload of the invoices on the IRP until the GST returns are filed. So let us look at the technology for e-invoice. So consider a scenario where Star Traders are the suppliers and Roy Trader is the customer. So Star Trader is generally uses a GSP services, something like Tally, to create a B2B invoice and upload it to the IRP. So as you can see, they can use the GSP and upload the IRP, upload the invoice to the IRP. Now IRP performs certain checks and balances. If it is valid, it gives a QR generated e-invoice back to Star Traders. So returns a digitally signed JSON to Star Traders with QR code. At the same time, it interchanges information with GST system and e-way bill system. So IRP ensures that GST, e-way bill, the taxpayer all are interacting with one piece of coherent information. GST system consists of following information: the invoice itself, the information of the invoice on the GST registry. GST system has now unique invoice with a unique number. It also has GSTR1 of Star Traders gets updated. GSTR2 and 2A and 2B of Roy Traders get updated. Roy Traders can also use the QR code to verify the invoice themselves. This once verified, they can use the same to take the ITC on the invoice in his GSTR2A and 2B. So why technology is the key? First of all, it helps you effortlessly generate invoices. Not only that, you can generate bulk invoices faster. You can generate invoices with the e-way bill too. You can easily access all the MIS and data pertaining to the reports, basically pertaining to the invoice, and it also helps smart validation to ensure compliance. So what is the role of GST Suvidha provider? It is the authorized intermediary for businesses to access the IRP services. Taxpayer will not be able to connect to the IRP directly. Taxpayer can only connect through the official government sponsored government to business application, which is G2B application, or more commonly by the applications developed by privately licensed GSPs. So as mentioned, GSP is the intermediary between the IRP and the server maintained by the government. This is their role. Taxpayers can upload their data to the GSP servers maintained by the GSP, which are secure, and then transferred to the central GST servers. GSP use secure application programming interface, which is procured from the government themselves to use and build easy to use applications for the taxpayers. So the focus is on two things: secure and easy to use. And finally, they provide the aspects of availability, scalability, and reliability to ensure your needs are met. So, what do you need for that? You need a simple and powerful integrated system which can generate e-invoicing without disrupting your existing business. So, allow me to introduce you to Tally Prime 1.1 and above, and how we can generate e-invoice and manage the entire process through Tally. So, first, let us take the product walkthrough. We will generate invoice through Tally, and allow me to show you that. So a single invoice being generated, a normal, you pass a transaction which you pass normally with all the requisite details, the party details, line item, the taxation, and now you can see you are asked to provide invoice details below. You select yes, you give the ship to bill to place, and now you can accept it and send the transaction for e-invoice generation. Yes, you want to generate the invoice. Yes, you have to enter the username password. It will be prefixed with API in your case. This is a test environment password, so it is different, but your password will start with API. Now the invoice is generated. You can go to print and check the invoice. You can preview it, and as while you are previewing it, you can see the QR code on the top right hand side along with the all the IRN acknowledgement on the left hand side. Now, let us look at a bulk transaction. So, while we talked about individual upload in the previous slide, let me show you selective or bulk upload. Sorry. So, you go to the invoice. So, assuming you have passed certain transactions but not generated the invoice, you type invoice here. Now, you go to transactions which are ready for generation, 4 transactions. You send them for invoicing through Exchange. You select only 2 transactions, for example, you do not want to pass all 4. You select 2 and send them for invoice. And see, now for IRN generation, you can send 2 invoice, you continue, yes. Now the system will interact once you enter the password. This password, once you enter, will be valid for 6 hours. So you did not worry of entering the password every now and then. So 2 invoices will be generated. And now, for instance, you after this, you want to pass the other 2 as well. You can do that also. So either you can selectively or you can bulk upload the transactions for e-invoice generation. You press any key to continue. And as you can see, the IRN is generated for 4 transactions. On expanding these transactions, you will see all the invoice details are automatically populated, including the acknowledgement number, IRN, supplier GSTN, etc. Now, let us take a scenario where e-way bill will be required to be generated with e-invoice. So again, I am passing a regular transaction, a normal routine transaction. Correct sales ledger, the line item, Once you enter the GST details, on bottom left, you see e-invoice, e-way bill details. Yes, you pass it, you enter the e-way bill details. You enter the place, pin code, consignee details, transporter details, transporter ID. We'll come to that. Yeah, you can enter transporter ID now. You can enter the vehicle number after this. Where to ship to place, and you can send it for invoice and e-way bill generation. So now once the e-way bill is generated, you can preview it as well from the print menu on the top bar. You can go for the preview. Now you will be able to see the e-way bill details along with the invoice details. As you can see, the e-way bill number and the IRN number. Same can be visible as well once you come out and go to more details on the right hand side. And more details, you can see e-invoice details first, the IRN number, and after this, the e-way bill number. So these are auto-populated. This is how it provides the flexibility and seamlessness. Finally, after this, you can check out various reports on Tally Prime. So let me show you uh, hands-on. So you go to, when you go to, you type e-invoice. You can see I have not given the exact format of e-hyphen. I have just written EIN, and yet Tally has made it so intuitive that e-invoice reports come in automatically. You go to the e-invoice, and you can see various transactions are categorized. Transactions which are uncertain, which are pending, which are IRN generated, which are IRN cancelled. So all these MIS reports is available in e-invoice reporting from GoTo. Uh, The status. Okay. After this, additionally, if any of the, assuming you have generated an e-invoice from outside tool and created a transaction here, so you have to get the IRN info from the external IRP portal. So for doing that, there's something called as get IRN info. Let me show you where this is available. I will also show you the transaction. So for IRN generation, you can see here on the right hand side, there is something called as get IRN info. So, same thing, get IRN number for invoice reference manually generated. So this provision is there. How this will work, let me show it to you. So let us see the get IRN flow. You go to the invoice reports again. You go to the IRN which are updated manually. So one IRN needs to be generated. You go to the transaction which does not have the IRN. You click on get IRN info on the right hand side. It will ask you, you fill the details, and it says the invoice details received successfully. Additionally, you can go to the transactions also now. You can go to the transaction and you can see the IRN is generated. You expand the transaction and you can check that. You can see the preview also. Same can be checked in the preview if it is populated. And yes, all the requisite details are populated. So you don't get overwhelmed when you are exchanging data with so many distributed systems. Tally gives you the provision of giving the status of each and every system through status.tallysolutions.com. Even if the external systems are down, as you can see, it will prompt you for the status. Finally, let's take up some FAQs. So what are the channels of help and feedback for invoicing? So any technical issue pertaining to APIs can be, you can raise a ticket on selfservice.gstsystems.in. For any feedback or any suggestions, you can write to invoice@gstn.org.in. Let's look at certain business scenarios and how they will impact you. So first, if you are using software for your invoicing, what are the things or key considerations? So for that, you will have to ensure that your GSP providers give you the facility to generate e-invoice. Second, it is a GSP provider in first place. If not, you will have to look for an alternate GSP provider. Third, it is able to handle all the scenarios which we just discussed: bulk upload, single upload, cancellation, modification, e-way bill generation, etc. Apart from this, you will also have to consider the cost element, whether it is a one-time charge or a recurring charge, annual, biannual, what are the charges and what is the cost of ownership for you total, if the cost is absorbed within the license fee or no. So, for example, if we talk about Tally, Tally provides you the provision for invoicing along with a valid TSS license. So, even so, there is no additional cost. If you have a valid TSS, you will be able to upgrade to Prime and use your Tally for invoicing. Second, if you are using Tally for both accounting and billing, and you are on ERP 6.6.3, then in that case, will have to ensure that you come under the purview of invoicing by receiving a notification from the GST. To comply to this, you will have to migrate to Tally Prime and generate invoicing through Tally Prime. Okay, if you are not using any other mechanism or GSP or customization. Third, your clients will expect invoicing, so hence it becomes a mandate for you to use some GSP for invoicing. Fourth, the ITC. So basically, if you have a supplier who is giving you an invoice, only then you will be able to take the ITC, because the invoice will be applicable for him as well if he is under the purview, obviously. Now, if you have multiple branches and you are using Tally, Tally ERP 6.6.3 on all the location, then how will the change impact you? So for that, since there are multiple branches, the invoices will be as invoices need to be raised for interested branches. Though the PAN is same, the GSTN will be different. You will need to raise invoicing. So for e-invoicing, you will need Tally Prime, you being the supplier. Also, as input tax credit will be generated basis the invoicing rules, you will need to ensure the invoices received from your vendors are electronically authenticated. That is, they have IRI and quick response. So, Tally Prime and above release is designed for hassle-free online generation of e-invoice. Entire process from e-invoice login, upload, generation, download is tightly integrated with the GST systems. Flexibility to generate e-invoice during voucher entry or a period or at a particular, that is bulk upload. Ability to generate e-way bill online along with e-invoice. Intuitive e-invoice preview report that can be accessed from anywhere in the application. Flexibility to export e-invoice in case if you're looking for offline handling. MIS to verify your transaction status, perform additional activities. Printing of tax invoice with the QR code obtained in various formats. Simple, comprehensive, and in pre-printed stationery as well. So finally, if there are any Q&A, we'll be more than happy to take them. So the whole idea is for invoicing, this is a digital age. So you need not go outside the product. All your requirement will be fulfilled by the GSP, and we hope in that case it will be your Tally will be your preferred GSP.